Get your reactions ready. The live portion of the show will begin in just a moment.
High fly ball, right center, going back, more go, track, wall, see ya!
Well, folks, sit down, we got a game.
Today is Saturday, May 13th, and it's Game 3 of a crucial 4-game set between the Rays and the Yankees. Big matchup between a couple of tough lefties, Nestor Cortes versus Shane McClanahan. My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is NYY Recaps.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back in.
Hey everybody, a quick word from today's sponsor. Before we dive into today's episode, let me tell you about Future Fitness. Imagine for a moment having a personal trainer right in your living room. That's exactly what Future offers. When you sign up, you'll have a video call with your trainer who will design a unique fitness plan just for you. Whether you prefer body weight workouts at home or going to the gym, Future's trainers are equipment agnostic and will adapt to your plan accordingly. With voice prompts, video check-ins, and in-app messaging, it'll feel like your trainer is always by your side. They'll help you achieve your fitness goals and keep you on track, even if you need to switch things up once in a while. Future's trainers have worked with everyone from professional athletes to busy professionals, so they know how to meet you where you're at. Use the link in my description and get your first month for just $19. Don't miss this opportunity to transform your fitness journey. All right. I don't know about you guys, but I can't take much more of the Limu Emu, man. Or Doug. I've had about enough of Doug, too. But welcome back, everybody. Last night we thought was the best win of the season so far. And there was the hope that maybe it was the turning point, and maybe you'd be able to carry that momentum into today's game. But unfortunately, the Yankees had to face off of a pretty nasty pitcher in Shane McClanahan. So as Ringo Starr said, it don't come easy. But he was on his game for 4 innings, but much like last weekend, when the Rays came back on Garrett Cole from down 6-0, the Yankees came back from down 6-0 and won this ballgame. Disgruntled YouTubers as pitchers duel in the Bronx. This was a tough day for starting pitchers. It was about 84 degrees, which doesn't sound that hot, but there was some humidity, and I think it was one of the warmer days that these teams have played in this year. And sometimes as a pitcher, on that first really warm day, you can kind of wilt a little bit early because it's a shock to your system. You're not used to working that hard in the heat. And I think we saw that on both sides today. Both Nestor and Shane McClanahan kind of wilted in the heat. Before we get to the recap, quick injury update. I've seen a lot of people ask about Giancarlo the last few days, and it sounds like he's doing some baseball activities. They showed some footage of him running before the game. Michael Kay thinks that he can be back possibly this month when they head west. I think that's probably a bit optimistic, but I would love if that could happen. The offense is finally beginning to heat up, and injecting Giancarlo into the middle of the lineup would be fantastic. We got a super chat from Ian, says, feels like forever since I got to say this. It's simple. Whatever he hits, he destroys. Quote from Rocky IV. Great day for Aaron Judge, obviously. 2 home runs. The man is back. But look, the Rays jumped out to an early 1-0 lead on a series of line drive singles. And Nestor wasn't at his best early, but he got a couple of double plays to get out of it. He got some hard one-hoppers, and they made some nice around-the-horn double plays. Jack Bauers picked up a base hit to lead off the bottom of the 3rd inning. I thought it was interesting to see that the Yankees would even start him against McClanahan. That shows some confidence. He's kind of a reclamation project, but we've seen some good swings out of him. Besides the hit today, he also hit one hard at left that got caught. He might be one of those reclamation projects that actually works out, a la Gio Urshela, Luke Voit for a little while before his body fell apart. But he's got a very athletic body. He's got a good swing. He hits the ball hard. I'm becoming a believer more and more each day in Jake Bauers. DJ LeMahieu made a terrific play down the line in the fourth inning. It was a hard shot. He laid out, he made a diving stop, got to his feet quickly, and threw an absolute laser beam across the diamond. Outstanding play. Nestor Cortez. You know, we mentioned he wore down. He actually retired 9 in a row at one point, so I thought he was looking pretty good, but then the wheels fell off in the fifth. You know, he had a pitch clock violation. Sometimes when you're just a little discombobulated, you can lose focus a little bit. I think that was an indicator of that. He loaded the bases, and then Yandy Diaz hit an absolute nuke to left field. Grand slam to make it 5-0, and it was 6-0 at the halfway point. And you're thinking,
oh, shit. Here we go again.
With Shane McClanahan on the mound, you know, it felt like a uphill battle that was going to be very difficult for the Yankees to traverse. I just didn't see it happening. But to their credit, the Yankees battled back right away. In the bottom of the fifth, Bauers had another good at bat to draw a walk, and then Kyle Higashioka got the Yankees on the board. 2-run shot, his third of the season. That made it 6-2 at that point. And then Gleyber Torres worked a good at bat. He walked, and that brought up Aaron Judge. And the big man has been a little bit off since he's come back. Yesterday, there was some speculation. Maybe he's still hurt. I said maybe it's the timing. We don't know. Well, today, he had his timing back.
That ball is high. It is far. It is gone. A Judgian blast. Oh, wow.
2-run shot to right field, his 7th of the season.
The Judge.
He was not done. Rizzo followed up with a double to knock McClanahan out of the game. So, as tough a day as Nestor Cortez had, he actually got more outs than McClanahan did. So, and to be clear, I think McClanahan also wilted in the heat. You know? Look, it's a shock to your system that first time, and we've seen a lot of guys do that over the years. It's just something you recognize watching baseball over the years. Jimmy Cordero did a nice job to shut down the Rays in the 6th. I thought that was an underrated performance in the middle of this game. A shutdown inning after the Yankees came back. Volpe led off the bottom half with a great bunt single, and then stole second base and third base, 13 for 13 in steals, and that was huge because he was able to score on a pass ball. He kills. That made it 6-5. 2 batters later, Aaron Judge kills 2.
That ball is high.
I feel like I'm playing a lot of sounds today.
Judgian blast. All rise. Here.
Second of the game into the second deck. And breaking news, folks, Aaron Judge is still good at baseball. 439 feet. 8th home run of the season. He's got 20 RBIs now. And he homered to both right field and left field. That's the guy we saw last season. And he's back just in time for the weather to heat up. So don't be surprised if he goes on a little bit of a run here. Also, kind of took his time coming out of the box. You know, he practically never does that. So maybe it was all the antics by the Rays in this series, you know, the posing and all the dumb shit they do. It might have woken the sleeping giant in Aaron Judge, giving him just enough fuel to get him going again. Oswaldo followed up with a 2-run single to make it 9-6. Nice job by him today. Marinaccio came into the 7th, and he didn't have it. He gave up a couple of base runners. They ended up scoring on a base hit against Clay Holmes, but the runs were charged to Marinaccio. His ERA has shot up to 3.71. It was 1.4 about a week ago. Still sporting a pretty decent whip, but, you know, when he doesn't have it, he does not have it at all. But Clay Holmes did a nice job. He got through the inning and then worked a solid 8th inning. Rizzo came in for the 8th. He was already in the game, but he came up in the 8th and picked up his 3rd hit of the game. He's up to 311 on the season. And that set up a closing situation. I thought they would go to Ian Hamilton. They went to Peralta last night. They went to Peralta again today. And, you know, before we get to Peralta, Franco Wander Franco hit a ground ball and was thrown out by about, 70 feet. He barely jogged out of the line, or down the line. Having trouble speaking. I'm so excited. But the problem with that is, a couple of days ago, he had this neck thing, and we saw he was kind of dogging it. They stuck him right back in there. So you don't know whether it's a injury or not that's acting up and keeping him from hustling down the line, or if it's just him dogging it. If he was just dogging it, that's a really bad look because he's too young and it's a one-run game. If the ball gets thrown away, you could end up in scoring position. That's a really, really bad play if he wasn't hurt. But Wandy Peralta hung in there and closed out the game once again.
Ball game over. Yankees win. Yankees win.
And with a chance to win 3 out of 4 tomorrow, this is shaping up to be a pretty big homestand for the Yankees. Belt goes to the captain.
Let's go. Belt winner.
Derek Petrie says you can't question the fight on this team. They were definitely fighting today. They definitely came back against a tough pitcher. And Tabor says Knicks fans a little less sad today. Look, my condolences to Knicks fans. That's a tough one. But so I think Parkson just said, yeah, here it is. He says Holmes is better as a setup man. That's what I've been saying. When he doesn't have to protect the lead with nobody behind him, when he's got somebody to kind of back him up, I feel like he just pitches a lot more confidently. He just kind of throws strikes, let the sinker do its thing. And, we've seen enough evidence now that I think he's just better in middle relief or even as a setup man. Tony Mateo says, new life on the season. Looks like they're getting in the Rays' head. Let's see the standings here. So with this win, the Yankees are now 7 games back. They are still in last place, but they're tied with the Red Sox. They're 23-18. Rays are 30-11. But look, that's a good Rays team. They lost Rasmussen for the season, probably. He's got an elbow ligament strain. This is a guy who's had 2 Tommy John surgeries. I noticed that they didn't even mess around. As soon as he got hurt, they put him on the 60-day IL. The Yankees almost never do that. When somebody gets hurt, they put him on the 10-day IL, and then they wait until that roster spot is needed to go to the 60-day IL. So I just think that that's an interesting way that the two teams handle their roster allocations. Val says, Yankees flip it and come back 6-0 just like the Rays did to us against their best pitcher too. Oh, how the turntables. Christian says somebody jumped on the field after Cabrera caught the final out. I didn't see that. That's one of the things about doing this show is that a lot of times I don't get to stick around and watch the post game or watch the celebrations or anything because as soon as the game is over, I'm preparing to go live. I'm queuing everything up. And so a lot of times I miss a lot of those little things. I missed last year, there was that incident with the Guardians where the fans were kind of going back, and I missed a lot of the nuance that was going on, and I couldn't talk about it on the episode because I just didn't get to see it. So, but anyway, I think the antics that the Rays kind of go with, the posing and all the just over the top type of stuff, it really kind of causes the Yankees to get pissed off, quite frankly. And I felt like that was just a little bit of fuel on their fire today. I just got that feeling. You could just tell from their body language that they were not going to allow themselves to be embarrassed on their home field. Let's take a look at the box score. We got a Super Dono from Roberto. Says, Judge did pose on the second home run. I think he was pissed. That is correct. Yeah, he never does that. NYY News TV, Pete, what's going on, my friend? Huge win. Damn straight. And I love the bunting. We had 2 bunt hits in this game. I can't think of the last time the Yankees had 2 bunt hits in an inning. Volpe and then Rizzo. And, we're starting to see some of these OPSs kind of go in the right direction. Judge is at 895. Rizzo's at 903. Bader's at 1.074, excuse me. Bowers, 931. He's just been solid. Hitting a walk today. Doesn't strike out a ton. 286 average. Higashioka, he got pinch hit for early in the game, but 1 for 1 with a couple of RBIs. Solid day for him. Nestor, the ERA is at 5.53. That's got to be a little bit concerning. But I was, the 9 guys that he got out essentially in a row, I was encouraged by that. He looked like he was moving quickly and he had a good rhythm. But like we said, the walls just kind of crumbled in the 5th inning. Ian says, that's called retaliation. That's how you do it. You don't need to start a beanball war. Just come out and kick their ass. And look, it's not kicking their ass per se, because both of these wins the last 2 nights have been by 1 run, but they're big wins. They're big wins. And I got to say, the Rays fans that commented last night, I had to remove a few of them, very salty. Very salty. They got some very, very salty fans. They sound very whiny. Very, very bitch-like. Let's see here. Copenhagen Wintergreen says, small ball leads you to the big fly. Absolutely. Creating, I guess, chaos on the bases and creating tough situations for the pitcher to work through causes more mistakes. You got to have guys getting on base. But it is what it is. Let's see. Wayne says, we really need Severino and Rodon in the rotation. So no word on Rodon yet. It sounds like Severino could be back pretty soon. There was an interesting article today from, I forget what publication it was in, but Buster Olney was speculating that if the Yankees were to fall out of it, that Luis Severino could be somebody that could be dealt, somebody that they feel like they could, essentially flip and get a decent return for. Mentioned the Cardinals as a possible, trade partner. Obviously, the Yankees traded Jordan Montgomery to the Cardinals last year. But that was kind of a unique situation. Montgomery was not going to get a start in the postseason. Most likely, he was going to be your number 4, number 5 guy. You had picked up Montas at that point. And this year, that's not really the case. I mean, the pitching beyond Garrett Cole has been a little suspect. So I think you need that experienced postseason arm. If the Yankees fell out of it, yeah, maybe you deal him. But I don't think the Yankees are going to fall completely out of it. I think they're going to be in there for a wild card spot no matter what. Let's see here. Mr. Wells says, Volpe should do that more often if they continue to play him that way. Yes, absolutely. If they're playing him back at third base, drop one down. He's got the speed to beat it out. That's a tough play for the third baseman coming in because you got to barehand it and make a great throw on the run. Best I ever saw at that was Scott Brocious. Scott Brocious was unstoppable at that. FG thinks that the league has caught on to Nestor's cutter. He needs to make an adjustment. Again, I just don't think it was cutting that much late in the game today. For the first 4 innings, he was really good. The cutter was working. He was able to get double plays on it. So I'm going to have to say I disagree on that. Going to have to disagree. And then It's Go Yanks says Yanks cannot trade pitchers unless for a pitcher. Well, I'm not sure I want Brian Cashman trading for any more pitchers, unfortunately. Yeah, his I guess resume for trading for pitchers has not been too good. And been too good. Dr. Hitskin says the Rizzo surprise bunt was impressive. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
And DJ BX1 says Arozarena needs to get plunked tomorrow. He's been hit a lot, and it hasn't changed his behavior. I think the way to beat him is just to get him out. Just get him out. Make him go sulk in the dugout. That's what I want to see. So, anyway. Look, he's a kid. He's having fun. We don't like it because we're on the opposite side of it. But if we had Arozarena on our team, I'd be selling fucking T-shirts with the pose on it. That's just how baseball is. Let's not try and hurt somebody physically because we don't like, their posing. I would rather beat them on the field. Christy Deming says, Yankees fans need to remember to focus on the win. They're getting a little whiny too. Go Yanks. We do whine from time to time. Supreme wants to make Rizzo a co-captain. I think he's kind of by default a co-captain, but not in title, just kind of in practice. And Dan Shifka says he's a Rays fan.
Shut up, bitch.
All right, guys. Brooklyn talking about the sequence with Volpe on second. Yeah, so let's talk about that. Volpe was definitely causing some disruption out there. I don't have the sequence committed to memory. Let's see if it's on the website where I get my highlights here. I don't see it. But essentially, he created that run by himself. He was causing all sorts of havoc. And then when he got to third, you take away that pitch in the dirt. Because if you throw that pitch in the dirt and gets by, he's going to score every time. And that's exactly what happened today.
Excellent.
All right, guys. And Wayne J says, Rizzo is most definitely a team leader. And I agree.
Game over, man. Game over.
I gotta get out of here.
Derek says, just wanted to thank you for your content. I'm from the UK and have watched the Yankees for 12 years. Glad I found your show. Appreciate that. A lot of great Yankees content on YouTube. I gotta say, as a Yankee fan, we are spoiled by the amount of great content that we got. We got some of the best independent media in the world for any sports team. And Nick Cannon says, Trevino, first round Hall of Famer. Not sure I agree on that one.
What?
All right, guys, I will see you after tomorrow's game. Until next time. Hey, everybody, that's a wrap for today's episode. Thanks so much for watching and listening to the podcast. We appreciate your support, and we've got a few ways that you can help us continue to grow. First off, you know this, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps other passionate fans like you discover us and join the conversation. If you're active on social media, give us a follow on Twitter at NYY Recaps Derek and Instagram at NYY Recaps for in-game and post-game content. And if you want to take your support a step further, consider becoming a member to get your name featured in lights on each post-game show. And I try and put out occasional members-only videos. We're going to be doing more of that soon because we've got a significant amount of members now. And for all you Yankees fans out there, visit NYYRecaps.shop to snag some awesome merch for your favorite players. We've got hats, hoodies, mugs, coasters, artwork, you name it. Thanks again for tuning in. And if you want more content from Derek, that's me, the creator of this channel, check out my other channel, STREAMSKI. It's got content on things like UFOs, paranormal activity, all that kind of fun stuff. So check it out. I'll see you next time.
Ball game over.
Most impressive.